we on? Am I focused? Probably not. Now I am. Now I'm in focus. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, welcome to our very first video on our BCAT YouTube page. Today's video is specifically for our freshmen and sophomores out there. And some of this may also, resonate with you if you're a junior or senior. But if you are a freshman or sophomore, these are things that you can be doing right now while you're at home, to get ready and plan if college is the path that you want to go into. So I'm going to cover six things that you guys need to be focusing on right now, kind of like a checklist, and kind of like running through the checklist as you go through your first 2 years of high school, so that once you get to your junior and senior year and you start applying for college, you already kind of have some things in your tool belt or your toolbox, whatever. You already have the necessary things to get you set up for success as you go into apply for college. So without further ado, we're gonna go right into number one. So the first thing, which can be kind of self-explanatory, but you need to focus on your grades. So a lot of times, the transitioning from, 8th grade into freshman year can be a little bit of an academic change. And so if you are experiencing any difficulty when it comes to your academics, please seek help and support academically. So whether that's a tutor, whether that's staying after school, whether that's, extra help with your teachers, whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that your grades are the best that they can be starting out freshman year. Like, don't wait till, junior year to kind of like play catch up, because it's not fun and it's not worth it. So if you guys can please, number one, focus on your grades. They do matter. I know a lot of people say, once you apply for college, they really only look at your, junior or senior grades. That is not necessarily the case. They will look at your full transcript and look at what your grades were freshman and sophomore year. Maybe you might take, college prep classes junior and senior year, so they might be looking at those in particular, but they will have the full spectrum of grades. So you want to make sure that you do what you got to do and get those grades freshman and sophomore year. So that's number one. Focus on your grades. Number two, extracurricular and leadership opportunities. So you're already doing a great job that you are a BCAT student. So BCAT will be considered an extracurricular activity, which is great, especially as you guys are starting to build your resumes. Because right now, maybe you don't have a job. You might, freshman, sophomore year of high school, you might be looking to apply for jobs, but, it might not fit in your schedule right now. So you can add extracurricular activities as, like BCAT, or if you do other after school programs, summer programs, all those things you can put on your resume. A resume is not just about, your job and work experience. You could definitely put your extracurricular stuff on there. So if you can get involved in any, student council is a great one, class leader, or I don't know, blood drive, gay straight alliance, sports teams, I don't even know anymore. I mean, schools have like endless amounts of clubs and organizations. So anything that you can become a part of, with whether it's in school or out of school, even if it is a club at school, it's still considered extracurricular. So if it's an after school chess club, like, that's wonderful. Anything that you can get and be a part of that's outside of your just regular academic schedule is perfect. And then take it a step further, and if you can get yourself in a leadership role or leadership opportunity within those clubs and organizations, that'll just take, your application and your resume just like to the next level. So if you are in student council, try to be on the executive board, try to be the, run for secretary, run for treasurer. Hey, why not run for president? Like, all those things show a lot more about you as a person and your character, than just saying being a member is great. Don't get me wrong, but taking that extra step and becoming a leader in whatever group you're in looks really good to colleges and jobs, and just talking to people in general to see that you have a leadership quality. So take advantage of leadership opportunities, and or even start your own club. If you feel like there's a club that that you're passionate about that does not exist at your school yet, talk to somebody and see if you can start your own club. That is always looks great, and it's great for you, the fact that you can start your own club. So that's number 2, extracurriculars and leadership opportunities. Number 3, sorry if it looks like I'm looking off camera, I have a little list over here. So number 3, summer internships. Summer internships are awesome. Honestly, it doesn't have to just be summer internships. A lot of you can probably do an internship during school, but it might be a lot, especially if you're still trying to adjust to, coming from 8th grade, 7th grade into now high school. So it might be a little bit much. It might be a little bit easier to handle a summer internship where you don't have the stress of school as well. So summer internships, I highly recommend. I can't even tell you how much I recommend it. Everyone kind of has an idea of, what they want to do, what they want to be, what they're interested in. But then you really don't know if you enjoy that until you're in the field. So I thought I wanted to be a substance abuse counselor. That's what I had my heart set on. I did an internship at a substance abuse counseling organization. That's probably not what it's called, but I worked at an organization where they do substance abuse counseling, is what I should say. And I absolutely hated it. Every second of it, didn't even want to go. Like, it was not my thing. It's not what I thought it was. Don't get me wrong, there might have been another organization that had different protocols or whatever the case may be, or different approaches that I may have stuck better with me. But just like the general idea of what a day in the life of a substance abuse counselor looked like was not what I thought. So all that to say, the more you can get into the industries that you think you're interested in, the more you know that the more you get out there and figure out what you don't like, you can figure out what you have a better way of navigating than what you do like, especially if you can start doing that freshman and sophomore year, because by the time you get to junior and senior year, you have a way better understanding and idea of who you are as a person and what your likes and dislikes are. And then hopefully you can start catering those internships and job opportunities at that point more so into your passions and your interest. And that way, once you're going into the college application process, you can go in undecided, but having a better idea of what you want to go into at that point will be a lot easier if you start now with summer internships than maybe starting junior year, which is usually, when people start looking for their first internship. I will say it might be difficult as a freshman or sophomore to get into certain, companies or organizations as an intern. I completely understand that. A lot of it has to do with just age and, you're a freshman. But if you push hard enough, make connections, being a part of, an organization like BCAT, there's also a lot of other great after school programs that they have connections and networks. So, if you're interested in, healthcare, talk to, myself, talk to, someone else maybe at your school, and they may know someone who can, help you out and get an internship, because a lot of times it's not what you know, but it's who you know. So that is number 3. Try your best to get a summer internship, and I will tell you right now, it might not be paid. So you might have to, be flexible with your time, maybe work 3 days a week, intern 2 days a week, however that may work. But the more you can get out there into the field and get more hands-on, the better chance you have at understanding who you are as a person and what your true values and passions and interests are. So, number 4, paying for college. Whew, listen, that is the relief or the sound of a recent graduate in debt. That's what you sound like. I wish I would have planned a lot better for paying for college. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that will say that has gone through college. Everyone graduates and they're like, whew, I really wish I would have listened to people who tell me that I should have, had some type of plan for college. So I'm telling you now, as a freshman or sophomore, junior or senior, but specifically freshman and sophomore, please talk to your parents. Please talk to a counselor. Please talk to whoever you can to get, specifically your parents or guardian, or anyone who may be helping you with financing your college experience, or even if it's just yourself. Figure out a plan, work with someone with a plan for you to pay for college, and the sooner the better. So if you could start, it can be really small. It can be, you know, $20 a week or whatever the case may be. Just having some type of plan laid out is better than nothing. There's so many resources out here right now, especially with Say Yes, or just any financial advisor for any school that you want to go to. They're always more than willing to talk to you. I'm more than willing to talk to you. Anyone who has, you know, been to college, they can probably give you some insight, but the better prepared you can be now in terms of the savings to college, the better, because the expenses that you think you need or that you'll have to cover, you will, but then there's also like 4,000 other ones that you just like didn't think of. And it also depends on if you're going, you know, staying in state, going out of state, SUNY school, living on campus, living off campus, meal plan, no meal plan, scholarship, no scholarship, athletic scholarship, you know, academic scholarship. Like everyone, you can't just go based off of, you know, what your friend's paying. You really have to kind of go through and see what your bill may or may not look like, so that you can plan out what you need to be your savings plan to get to college. So I will link a video below just with some more tips and tricks on a payment plan or a savings plan as you prepare for college. So yes. And number 5, yes, number 5. So scholarships. We love talking about scholarships. Scholarship sounds great. I'll be completely honest with you. When I was in high school, I didn't apply to not one scholarship, and I do not recommend that at all. Hey, you live and you learn, and I'm glad now that I'm in the position that I am to tell you guys, please, like, there's money out here. Trust me, there's money out here literally for you to go to school. So even as a freshman and sophomore, they have scholarships called non-traditional scholarships, which basically means that you don't have to be a junior or senior to apply for these scholarships. Because most scholarships you will see, you have to be at least a junior or senior to apply, but there are, I can't even tell you how many. There's a whole plethora of non-traditional scholarships that you can apply for right now. You don't need to know what school you're going to. You don't need to know what your major is. You don't need to know all those specifics that you will probably know by junior year. That's why they're non-traditional, because a lot of time it's just, you know, a need-based type scholarship or essay where you just need to write an essay and like application. A lot of them are different. It depends. But they are out there, so you don't need to wait till junior year. And trust me, having a little bit of that cushion adds a lot of comfortability. Say you apply for maybe like 4 non-traditional scholarships and go into, you know, junior year with already, say, $10,000 secure. Like, that is love right there. Because a lot of people go into it with 0. So definitely I'll link a link below with just a couple resources, a couple websites that do list some non-traditional scholarships, so you guys can, you know, start looking to see what they need. A lot of times, you know, going back to number 1 and 2, a lot of times they will ask for your transcript and your grades. And a lot of times they will ask for extracurricular activities or a resume or something along those lines. So asking like what you're doing, what have you been doing, what kind of community service have you been doing, what type of volunteering you've been doing, what type of leadership roles. Those are all the type of like key, you know, buzzword type things that usually scholarships are looking for. It's a lot of leadership, extracurricular, community service, volunteer, which I forgot to add for the extracurricular and leadership opportunities. Volunteer and community service definitely both fall under that category. So definitely try to get as much of that in. I know for school you probably have to have a certain amount of hours, but like it doesn't stop there. Like if you can find somewhere where you can volunteer every week, you know, keep doing it. consistency is key, and showing that you maybe volunteered at one place for 4 years is way more powerful than saying that you maybe, you know, volunteered, you know, twice one place, twice another place. Like, that's still great, but showing that commitment over like 4 years or 2 years to one place is awesome. So definitely, so remember, volunteer, community service as extracurricular, and applying for non-traditional scholarships. And last but certainly not least, communicate with your guidance counselors. I promise you, this will make a world of difference in your college experience. Don't get me wrong, not every guidance counselor not to every guidance counselor is as amazing as the one that I had. She took a lot of time with me. I visited her at least once a day, if not twice. It's like, once you build that connection with them, I literally got the ends on like everything. Like, the first one to know about scholarships, and she knew me as a person, so if there was a scholarship that came out, you know, that had to do with sports or whatever, she would send it to me. Or when I came in, it's like an update, and that it created this accountability, not only for me but for her as well. Like, if I came in and had a question that she didn't know the answer to, or, you know, about a specific college, you know, she would get the information from me. I'll come back the next day and boom, there's the information. So I'm telling you right now, guidance counselors now, I feel for them, I really do. The caseload numbers that they have is crazy. So there's no way, it's like impossible for them to have, you know, these deep connections. Not impossible, I shouldn't say impossible, but it's very unrealistic for them to have, you know, one-on-one, just like deep, full-blown, you know, college admission process with each student. I mean, some guidance counselors have like 400 students. There's just no way that that's gonna happen. But on the flip side, if they see someone who is consistent, who is interested, who's coming to them, who's having conversations, who's talking, that is a beautiful, like, that will, like, you will then not just be a number. Like, you will be whoever you are to her or to him, and you'll be able to, you know, build that connection, and then you'll get information out of them, they'll get information out of you, and they'll be able to help you. And it just makes things so much easier, because there's so much uncertainty when it comes to college. There's so many different colleges, there's so many different majors, there's so many different admission processes. So definitely try your best. And even if it's not your guidance counselor, just finding someone like myself. There's a lot of resources at the University of Buffalo Equal Opportunity Center, where they give they have a lot of resources on financial aid as well as the college admission process. So just finding someone that can help you out, in addition to your parents or guardian or family members or auntie or uncles, whatever the case may be, but having someone else to support you in the process who is, you know, committed to you, and, you know, is able to give you that full one-on-one type of, you know, relationship. I'm telling you right now, it makes a world of difference, especially since you're a freshman or sophomore right now. The earlier, again, with almost all of these, the earlier, the better. So if you can start building a relationship right now with your guidance counselor and explaining to them what your interests are, what your passions are, what you're thinking about, then, like, as the years go on, you'll be able to build off of that. And I'm telling you, by junior year, you'll have a way better understanding about what your post-high school graduation life will look like. And it doesn't have to be college. Don't get me wrong, this specific video is about college, but even if it's, you know, going straight to career, if it's trade school, if it's entrepreneurship, if it's sports, whatever the case may be, having somebody to support you and talk to you and give you advice and give you insight along that journey makes a world of difference. So we'll run that back one more time. So we have focus on your grades, don't wait till junior year, extracurricular and leadership opportunities. Number 3, summer internships. Number 4, paying for college and having a savings plan. Number 5, non-traditional scholarships. And number 6, communicate and building a relationship with your guidance counselors. So you have all this information now. Take it in, write it down, a checklist, focus on grades. Every week, have a follow-up. What are my grades looking like? Do I need to get a tutor? Whatever the case may be. Extracurricular, get involved. There's so many ways to get involved. Like, it's crazy. You can go online right now and just probably Google how can I get involved, and like things will pop up. So stick with BCAT, join a club at school, create a club at school, join a sports team, whatever the case may be. Take it to the next level and become a leader on whatever team you're part of. Summer internships. Talk to people, talk to myself, network, see where you can get in, see what you think you're interested in, and have someone, like me or at your school, get you into a company or organization so that you can get hands-on, field work and see if that's something that you want to pursue. Paying for college, savings plan, non-traditional scholarship, check out the link below, and then communicate with your guidance counselors. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be on the lookout for the next video. Stay safe and, keep planning for your future. Stay creative, and I'll talk to you guys soon.